Okay, since I started taking my medication today for my rare health condition at age 62, had it since I was a child, and I finally got put on medication for it. And from what I understand, my muscle atrophy will basically start reversing at age 62. That I should be gaining muscle, but that probably will take a year to 2 years. From what I understand, I'm not a voice of authority on this, but from what I've been told and what I've read from the appropriate people, and the medication itself. And but the first thing for most, see now, different people react different ways. But what I should be expecting, from what I understood from the pharmacist, is that I should expect to lose weight. I should expect to lose weight, to have less problem with my diabetes, and these things are basically going to be reversing, and blood pressure, high blood pressure, hypertension, and other things. Okay, they're going to be reversing. They had just had Band-Aid what I always called Band-Aid medications for them. And now that I'm finally being treated, it's too risky to operate. I knew that since 2004. Nobody informed me since then that there was an actual medication that was approved. I found out today, or yesterday, that it was actually approved in 2014. I was thinking it was later than that. But anyway, so nobody told me, none of all these many healthcare providers, nobody told me until this doctor I'm seeing now. And I got it in the mail yesterday. It had its special, a special type of medication from the pharmacy. It's not overseas or anything like that. It's a very, very well known in the United States pharmacy and a chain. And it's legit, in other words. It's very expensive. Luckily, between my insurance and they have some kind of card. I call them cards. The woman called them a coupon. Brought it down to big old goose eggs. Zero. I paid nothing for it. But it's a 28-day supply. Hopefully that zero continues, because my copay would be $500 a month. Mine would be $500 for 28 days, I should say. Yeah, $500 every 28 days. But if it does the job, it would be actually worth it to me. Shh, don't tell anybody. But no, it would actually be worth it to me if it does this job. I've had this health condition since I was a child. It's horrible. It's horrible. And anyway, I should be this is one of the big things, besides the what I just mentioned. One of the big things for me is this muscle atrophy. When I get out of my car, it has been getting bad. When I get up off the bed, okay, I just recently once again bought something for my bed. This one, I don't even know what you would call this one. You know how they have feather top beds, or what isn't it called, feather top or something? That was nothing for me. This one is something thick, similar to it. Anyway, I just bought it recently, and it works. I was having so much pain in my right hip, all the way down the leg, and yeah. So, and I think this is, I don't know for a fact, but I think all this is associated with the rare health condition, which is now being medicated as of today. I got the pills yesterday. And so this muscle atrophy, the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm remembering how long I've had this problem. And I never associated it with that, and none of the healthcare so-called providers associated with it to this a rare health condition. I'm not going to say what it is, period. And not anymore. Not ever again. Try really hard. Might slip out, but I'm not going to on purpose. And anyway, any comment that anybody leaves me that has it in there, I will delete it before even reading it. I have to allow comments. I'll delete it. But, and block. So, just to let you know. Anyway, whoa, did you see that bird? Oh my goodness, a bird flew and landed right on the shrub in front of me. How neat, how nice. Right there. It's right in front of me, seriously. And, wow. But anyway, where was I? This time it wasn't a squirrel moment. It was a bird moment. I just love wildlife. I really do. You know, I like to feed the feral animals and birds and all that. But anyway, that's one of the big things for me. Seriously, I went to a store today, just driving to the store and back home. Just driving to the store, I got out and my legs, it was like, yeah, I was I was ready to go in the store and I was gonna go walk around the store, but no, my legs said, nah, I better get a one of those electric shopping carts. And I'm glad I did. The store was a madhouse, and the store itself was probably like 15 minutes away, and 15 to 20. And I like going to that one. And like I said, once I got there, I had to drive home too. So, stuff like that. As I'm speaking, as I'm thinking, all the times that I had problems. I'm 62, but when I was sometime in my 40s, I remember going shopping with my younger sister, who would have been in her 30s. I would say she may have been 40. She's 6 years younger, and than I. And I remember going with her and her stepdaughter, who was young. Teenager, I think, at the time, or whatever she was. But we were walking, and all of a sudden I couldn't, in the grocery store, and I was pushing the shopping cart, and I was like, I can't move. I got to get home, and I don't know even if I told her, but I was like aching so bad, and body just hurting, and just like out of the blue, and I still didn't associate it with that. Why would I? I'm not the provider, the healthcare provider. I'm not one. Why would I know? That was a long time ago. I gotta remember too. There was stuff before then too, like driving to a university. I attended 2 universities at one point, and Adam was attending one of them, and we were living on campus there, and I would have to drive to the other one for classes, and that was like a 2-hour drive. Yeah, something like a 2-hour drive. And I remember one time getting out, and they had put me on a medication. But the doctor, whatever doctor I had then, put me on a medication. And the pharmacist, I called the pharmacist when I got out of my, driving there and went to get out and almost fell on the ground. And my muscles my legs just weren't, it's not funny, weren't working. And the pharmacist told me, don't take that medication anymore. Don't take the medication. I had no idea that medication did that. And anytime they've tried me after that, I had bad reactions to it, like that. And like feeling like I had the flu, the body aches and all that. And that was over years. They tried me different medications for the same purpose. And now I'm using one that they told, it's been working just great. One doctor told me, that's not what it's used for. That's a secondary to that, to the other ones. I said, well, I can't take the other ones. And he was grumbling about it. He said, it doesn't work that way. I said, well, obviously it does for me, because my numbers are normal. Obviously it doesn't. He didn't realize, hey, well, yeah, hello, let's think. Let's use logic here. Her numbers are normal. She had to be put on it by another doctor. Must be working for her. You know? Sometimes I'm so mean. But the nerve of some of these people trying to tell me it's not work. Trying to tell me that it's not supposed to work that way. Well, it's okay if it does not supposed to, but it is. With this rare health condition, though, medications go like that. The way they work for other people don't always work that way for me, and vice versa. So, anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like right now, I came out to sit in my SUV, and I can feel that one side of that hip. Problems with that. But there was something earlier that sitting in my SUV was the only place I could sit when that sudden weight gain happened back in 2023. And my SUV was the only place I could sit and feel comfortable sitting. Really, that's what it was. Yeah, back in 2023, the only place I could sit. Now, sitting in my SUV is a problem. Laying down on the bed is a problem because I sleep on my sides. I can't sleep on my back that great, and never sleep on my stomach. And I never sleep on my back either because it's not, as far as I know, it's not sleep apnea. I thought it was, but I haven't taken the sleep test, and I decided not to. I'm going to wait until all this medication and everything, this one pill a day medication, and see what happens, what it reverses, and all that. I'm not going to have several things running at the same time going crazy. And this doctor wants to take me off of this one and put me on this one, and then, let's run more tests. I got so tired of hearing that last year. It was so bad. Different doctors, we're going to run more tests. We're going to do procedures. We're going to make you do that procedure whether you like it or not. No, you're not. Bye-bye, fired. That is what happened. Bye-bye, fired. He doesn't know it, though. He's fired. Yeah. They just keep renewing the prescription. That's fine by me. I don't want to see you. But I was so tired last year. I'm tired of it. Really was. And but this doctor, he's got bad staff. His staff, it took him over a month to get me this medication. When I saw the doctor, he said it would be a few days. It was over a month, and then he's on vacation. So, oh my goodness, so much stuff. But I really am looking forward to being able to rebuild muscle now. I plan on, I think I'm going to try with my PCP I went back to. She is not, I don't know what they call them. Really don't know. I don't know if I know she doesn't work for the insurance company that I go through. Like the other ones, some of them are partners with it or whatever they call them. She is not. She's in network though. I'm going to try to get her to find me what's the word? Yeah, she's going to do that. to locate me a better physical, for physical therapy, a better place than what I was going to. Yeah, I didn't like that little woman that the second one I had physical therapist, because I had to stop for a while, and then when I went back to the same place, it was a young woman, and little tiny woman, and she come up to me twice, and I know I've seen enough about physical therapy and all, but she come up to me twice and said, "I'm gonna make it hard on you." Well, no, you're not. Fired. She was fired. She did it twice. No, you don't get 3 strikes with me. But fool me once. Yeah, no, she just didn't get 3 strikes. I ain't listening to that crap. I'm old enough to be her grandmother. So anyway, I am right. Probably, maybe not, but close enough. Anyway, So I'm going to try that through my PCP, get her, regular doctor, and try to build up this muscle again. And there are a lot of things associated with it also that I'm looking forward to. It's a physical health condition. Okay, it's physical, and a lot of things I've had trouble with since I was a child, and I never felt like I was disabled. I never thought of myself really as disabled. I knew it. I knew that I wasn't like most people, and I knew that this is, stuff that causes me problems like this. Like, here's an example. When I was 18, I met and married Adam. He's just a few years older than I. And, but where I grew up, I was only around really mainly houses. And the schools were one story, one floor. Okay. And there never really had any place that I ever went to where I saw people climbing stairs. I think we had one apartment complex, maybe two, where I lived, where I grew up, and we were really sheltered from the rest of the world. I'm serious. We really were. And I've said this in a kind of joking way that, young Sheldon, where they describe where he grew up, which is fiction. Fiction is not, it does not exist. The place does not exist. The town does not exist. But if it did exist, it would have been where I grew up. Okay, and they did have at least one genius. Sheldon is a genius. They had at least one, and you're listening to her. I'm not joking. So, in the reality, they did, me. And just a simple fact. Anyway. Yeah, okay. I need to pause for a second here. I'm trying to do my videos on just one clip. That's going to be difficult for me. But anyway, to get back to this, the stairs thing. I never got to see people walk upstairs. Really, seriously. I never had to really walk upstairs. I mean, there were some places, like my family, we'd go on vacation, and there were stairs we had to walk up, and for whatever reason, I'd go up to the rail and hold on and walk up the stairs. Just never really thought about it. And these memories are hitting me, seriously. I'm being triggered to memories. Not bad ones, but memories. And, but when I was 18, I met and married Adam, and then we started moving around a lot, and we moved into the first place we moved into had some stairs, but I don't think it was then, but sometime after that, where we lived, I was admiring how Adam walked up the stairs. I still to this day do. I still to this day, when I see anybody, like these food delivery people, food they're delivering, and they walk up these stairs and they're not holding on to the rails, and I'm just admire them. I admired Adam. How does he do that? How does he walk upstairs? We'll say one flight to the second floor. How does he do that without holding on to the rails? How can he be so centered? Now, I'm not wobbling all over the place or anything, but I just would not be able to do it. I have no idea why. I still don't know to this day why. But I have to hold on, or I'm afraid I'm going to fall backwards and get killed. Seriously. Now, I kept thinking about this today. I can only remember one house I was ever in, and that's when I was babysitting. It was next door to one of my friend's house, her house, and I was babysitting, and the kids would go up and down the stairs, but I don't remember anything about other than like, y'all are not going to go up there and play, play by getting a box or something, cardboard box, and they were wanting to slide down the stairs. Oh, no, you're not, and but people walking up the stairs like they do, I'm still to this day wow, what it would be like to do that. And when I first started myself, the first time that, since I gained this weight, and sudden 48 pounds in 2023, just boom, there it was. No explanation, caused all kinds of problems itself. And right after that, I think it was right after that is when I started that job to help me pay for the insurance. Not help me pay. I have to be working to get the insurance thing. I don't want to go through all that again, talk about all that stuff. But and I had to walk up a stairs, and I was like, just imagine, or don't imagine, how horrible it is to have an extra 48 pounds. It goes up and down, but it doesn't go past 48, at least. Not that I know of. Additional weight, 62-year-old woman who has muscle atrophy. And last year I had congestive heart failure twice. The second time they said the person who was doing breathing treatment, she said that it could have not been that because I wasn't swollen anymore or anything. And once she did the breathing treatment, I had no problem. And I only went there because I had a bloody nose. So, hey. But anyway, but the first time that I had to walk upstairs, and it was summertime, I got up to the I just walked the first one up to the second floor, and that's the only stairs. And I stood there, and the world was like I was going to fall down. It seemed like and I remember saying it felt like a strong wind of sand hit me because it was summertime, and it was awful. I really thought I was going to fall down those stairs. And so stairs, I don't do stairs. I don't do stairs. Nope, don't do them. Not going to happen. I even have trouble doing just the steps up to the front door where I live. It's a very wealthy county. And most of the homes I visit are for really wealthy people. And there's this, usually, most often it has stairs up to the front door. And I'm not talking, there was all kinds of stairs. They don't have rails. And some of them can just be tiny, and I cannot do it anymore. I have a hard time walking up a curb. Like you go to a store, and you instead of going way down there to walk up one that's flat, just right in front of you, just step up. I can't do it. I can, but I'm afraid I'm going to fall. So I'm looking really forward to this reversing, and I see now how it was getting worse and worse and worse, especially since this 48 extra pounds. I mean, come on, 48 pounds. And it won't go away. Now that, this medication, that would all this combination of the muscle atrophy and all this kind of stuff, the health condition itself, the medication, the diabetes problem, the this, that, the other, all of it's going to go magically, pshum. Nothing else will help it. Besides, if they could operate it, but they say because of where it's located, I was told in 2004 that they couldn't do it. It was too risky. And then recently, this one, he told me that that he explained it. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to say what it is. But he might slip out, but no, I'm not going to intentionally do it. But anyway, like I said. So I'm looking forward to having a healthier body. Now, there are some things that it can cause, it's a big can cause. Things like memory issues, which, well, yeah. And I worked with people with memory issues, And I've been testing myself to make sure. I've been out to all those classes and stuff, to conferences, seminars, whatever. So I've been testing myself to see, but it's fine. But there's some that I'll mention in another video. I'm wrapping this up.